Hi, I'm Bee, and welcome back to Read and Roam. Today we have a special challenge, helping out a few of my friends. They're in a writing club and ask for tips on using text features and structures to help readers understand their writing. Let's get started. Before we read their questions, let's quickly review text features and structures. Text features help readers find and understand information, like headings, maps, diagrams, and glossaries. We've seen these in action in our Costa Rica travel guide, at the airport, and during our visit to a national park. Text structures are the way authors organize information alongside these features. We've explored description, sequence, problem solution, cause and effect, and compare and contrast. We saw these in my daily discovery articles and even in a food review. Knowing the structure of a text helps us understand how ideas connect, and when the right features are added, the meaning becomes even clearer. Let's put all this knowledge to work. My friend Amia wrote about a park she visited. Here's her question for us. I want to paint a picture for my readers so they can imagine and understand what the park is like and where it's located. Which text features would be best for me to add? So Amia wants readers to picture the park. That's a big clue she's using a descriptive text structure, the kind that uses details to show what something looks, sounds, or feels like. Let's check out her writing and see how she brings the park to life. Zion National Park. Zion National Park is in the state of Utah. It is full of giant red rocks and tall cliffs, and when the sun shines on them, it looks like they glow orange and red. A river flows through the park. You can hear the water rushing over the rocks, and you might hear birds singing in the trees. Wow, I can picture it. Red and orange cliffs, rushing water, birds singing in the trees. Amia did a great job using details to help her readers see and hear the park in their minds. If she wanted to show the readers exactly what she meant, she could include a photograph like this with her text. She also wants the reader to know where the park is. Which text feature could help with that? A map. A map of Utah could show where Zion National Park is. I can't wait to see what you add, Amia. Let's read our next question from my friend Eli. I'm teaching people how to compost. I explained what it is and gave step-by-step instructions. How can I make it even easier to understand? Well, since Eli used steps, he's likely using a sequence structure. Let's take a look. Composting turns food and yard waste into healthy soil. Instead of throwing away things like fruit peels or grass, you mix them together and let them break down into rich soil for plants. Get a compost bin, add scraps, use fruit peels, veggie scraps, and dry leaves. Mix it, stir it every few days, wait a few weeks, and you'll have soil for your garden. So this structure clearly breaks the topic into easy-to-follow steps. Which features would help his readers? I'm noticing there are no headings or subheadings. He could add, "What is composting?" at the top, and "How to compost" here to let his reader know what each part is about. What other text feature do you think Eli should add? A diagram would also be helpful here so the reader could see each of the steps he explains. Okay, let's move on to our next question from Layla. I wrote about why bees are disappearing. I explained what's happening and what's causing it. Which text features can I add to make this stronger? Another big hint about structure. Let's read. Why are bees disappearing? Bees are disappearing in many parts of the world. One cause is pesticides, which make it hard for them to survive. Another is habitat loss because flowers and fields are replaced by buildings. Okay, now it's your turn to help. Pause the video to record which text structure Layla used and explain which text feature you think she should add. Layla explained why bees are disappearing with causes like pesticides and habitat loss. That's a cause and effect structure. One thing that stood out to me was the word pesticides. Some readers might not know what that means. Adding a glossary with a simple definition or a photograph with a caption could explain the meaning of this word. Next up, my friend Ezra. Here's his question. I wrote a report on Michigan's water problem and how it was solved over time. Which features could help readers follow the events? Let's read. In 2014, Flint, Michigan had a big problem. The water was unsafe to drink, and many people were getting sick. People spoke up to get help to fix the problem. In 2016, the government gave Flint money and provided families with clean bottled water. Starting in 2017, old pipes were replaced, and scientists tested the water to make sure it was getting better. By 2021, most homes had clean water again. Pause the video to record which text structure Ezra used and explain which text feature you think he should add. This text actually shows how one passage can have two structures. If you said either problem solution or sequence, you're right. Ezra tells us a problem and shares a solution, but he also does it in the order that the events actually happened, which is a sequence. A timeline would be a great text feature to clearly show how the problem was fixed over the years. All right, we have time for one more from my friend Jeremiah. Here's his question. I'm writing about how the sun and the moon are similar and different. Which feature could I add to help my reader see the differences? Here's his writing. The sun and moon are both in the sky, but only the sun is a star. It gives us light and heat, while the moon shines at night by reflecting sunlight. The sun is much larger than Earth, while the moon is much smaller. Which text structure did Jeremiah use? Which text feature should he add to his writing to make the differences clear? Why? Pause the video and record your thoughts. This is a compare and contrast structure. A diagram would be a great text feature to add. For example, this one would show the difference in size. Text structure and text features work together to guide the reader through the text. When writers choose the right text structure, it helps the reader understand how ideas are connected, whether it's steps to follow, problems and solutions, or similarities and differences. And when they add the right text features, it makes the information easier to find, understand, and remember. Thanks so much for your help today. I can't wait to read their final pieces. Until next time, remember, where there are words, there's a world to explore. Hey, hey.